there's no business if you don't create it. There's no business if you don't take care, if you don't take it seriously, and if you don't do the numbers, and if you don't want to, no, it's not going to be a business. That's just the truth. So really, musicians, bands, artists, take business seriously, not just the music business. Look at business. Look at every form of business out there, McDonald's to the WWE. And no, you don't have to be a corporate. You don't have to be a corporate kiss ass and sellout. You could go DIY. But guess what? If you're smart enough to understand that you could do it you could do DIY it with a team, then guess what? You need to learn what those motherfuckers are doing. And then that way you don't have to do the same practices, but certain things that you can learn from business practices, you can learn, you can do them, you can apply them as a DIY artist, band, a musician, and you can be successful. It depends on what you consider success, what you consider financial security, what you consider a business. But you have to consider learning business.
I'm unstoppable like rolling, cracking out the mows. Never mind the road, I go whichever I'ma go. Nothing stop me though, rain, sleet, summer, snow.
What's up, y'all? Close here with the Music Making Sense podcast, where we come to talk to you every single episode about music marketing, branding, and how to have success, real success as an independent artist. With me, as always, is the dark arts rocker, the dark-hearted stalker, your grandma's most hated, but your mama's most satiated. The one, the only, KP.
Woo!
How the hell you doing today, KP?
I'm good, man. I am good.
That was a long one. It seemed longer than normal for that applause break. Did you hit it twice?
No, man. It was just once. That motherfucker was just going, dude.
Okay. It's all good. But anyway, this is take 5 or something like that, because me and KB kept having fucked up false starts where I was either laughing or burping or we fucking forgot to push the buttons or some shit. But it's all good.
We're here, dude.
But we're here, and as always,
you know who we are.
We are powered by
Riverside FM.
Boom!
Absolutely. Riverside FM.
Sir.
Big boom right there. Riverside is dope, it's amazing, it's wonderful, it's awesome. One thing I did realize yesterday is that if you're on the mobile version, you can't share your screen, but you can't do that on Zoom either, because I was trying to have a consultation with somebody yesterday and they were using an iPad, which they fell for the stupidest salesman in the history, because the salesman told them that an iPad was better than an iMac. And I'm like, no, you got a tablet instead of a laptop. You can't run a business as well. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah, so like we were trying to do a consultation where they were going to share the screen with me so I can help them walk through some stuff, so I could see it. And there was no option to share screen on the mobile version of Riverside. And I'm like, are you sure? Because like I can see it right here on the bottom of mine. No, I can't see it. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's go try Zoom real quick, right? So we went to Zoom. Zoom didn't give that option either. So we had to hop on a Facebook call, video call, in order for them to share the screen on Facebook. And I'm just like, oh God. I'm like, okay, for one, return the iPad, get an iMac. And then for 2, now I know if they're on a mobile device, they can't share their screen with me, which is fine, because most of the time when I'm doing consultations with people, helping with their stuff, I'm usually sharing my screen with them. So with me being on a desktop, it's fine. But there are occasions when, somebody needs to share a screen with you, and if they're on a mobile version, they just don't have that option. But like I said, Zoom doesn't have the option either. Right. So, it's not just a Riverside only thing, because Riverside is great. It's got a lot better, video clarity and audio clarity and stuff like that. And then you got the in-app features with, the text-based editing and the auto clipping feature and all that fun stuff. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, and I'm sure they're working on some more stuff here too. If you use Zoom for anything, stop. Use Riverside. Yep, exactly. Stop. In the name of Zoom, or in the name of Riverside. But anyway, go click the link down below and get yourself for your first month free. That way you can test it out for yourself and see exactly what we're talking about.
Man.
So,
Give it up for that, brother.
Yep, absolutely. Were you clapping? Clapping for that one, huh? But Yeah, so piggybacking off the last episode, KP sent me a video today. We're not going to do a full breakdown on it because honestly, he sent me a video and he said, "Man, this could be a great topic." And I started watching it. I said, "Bro, this is what we talk about every other episode, every 3 episodes, something like that." But it was a great episode. It was a video from what was fucking dude's name? Here I am not having shit prepared again. The channel is called Musicians Ignite. His video is why musicians fail in the modern age, and his thumbnail even says music is not the product.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can see that on the thing. I'll put a screenshot or something like that in the post edit. But for those of y'all watching, my only critique on this was that the audio on his video was crackly and shit, but other than that, his message was on point. And like I was telling KP, I even like the way that he just hit record and just started talking, grabbed a drink in the middle of it. Like
I love this.
I was
cool
like, oh, this dude
background
just
in the
chilling.
back. I love this cool background.
Yeah, he had like a blue flame
Yeah, that was
background, which is
cool.
his thing's Musicians Ignite. So having a
Right.
flame is, branding right there. But his overwhelming thing that he was talking about is a lot of things that we talk about right in here. So that's why I felt he was 100% on point because, if anybody who agrees with me, they're onto something, right? And because I am, as I'm the smartest human on the planet. So
Hold on,
but-
dude. I gotta wait.
Yep, exactly. There we go. There we go. Just have your hand on it. You never know, right? But anyway, I do like to think that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
You
bare
do.
minimum,
I'm
I at
just
least
fucking
got
with you,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
You do. You're good.
No,
You
yeah,
got
I
your-
get
you
it.
know
Yeah,
your
I
shit,
get
brother.
it. It is. It's good to joke about, but I am the smartest person on the planet. So it. But what he's talking about is how music is not the product.
Right.
And a lot of artists. Not to really paraphrase what he's saying because we've said it multiple times here, but a lot of artists still see music as the end product, but it's not anymore. It used to
Yep.
be, it used to be, I'm going to end up parroting a lot of what he says because I was sitting there listening to him. I'm like, I've said a lot of that same shit.
But it's
People
true.
would hear music on radio, on TV, on whatever, and then they would go out and go buy the music, right? Go buy the CD, go buy the cassette, record, whatever time frame it was, right? And then you would go buy it, and then you can listen to it as much as you want. You can listen to specific songs. You'd have the whole album instead of just listening to whatever the radio wanted to tell you to listen to, because the radio and TV have always been a promotional medium.
Yep.
They've never been a sales medium. I mean, you can't do transactions on radio and TV. You never could,
Nope.
right? It was always like, go check out, Leapin' Larry's appliances downtown or whatever, and tell them you got told by K45 or whatever, right? And get 10% off, something like that, right? But they were just an advertising platform, radio and TV were. So when they were doing commercials or whether they were just playing music, it was all a sample. And, we talked about this as well, too. Whenever you would go to a radio station to get your music played, you would have to pay to have it played because it was an advertisement. Mm-hmm. And of course, a lot of artists are like, oh man, that's payola, that's pay to play, that's illegal, blah, blah, blah. Look, no, I mean, yes, there's a level where it gets corrupt and fucked up, but at the same time, like, it's your advertising, like what we said on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
You think Budweiser considers it's pay to play whenever they air their Super Bowl commercials and pay $7 million for 30 seconds?
Right.
No,
Right.
it's advertising.
It's
It's standard
dude.
business practice. You know what I'm saying? And so, like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
all right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here really quick and let you know about my company. I know a lot of times we're sitting here talking to you about all the different companies that rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast, but I just figured I'd hop in here really quick and let you know about my company and the services that I offer. Now, my company is called Apex Music System, and you can find that over at apexmusicsystem.com. You can find a full list of all the services that I offer over there in my company. If you're a podcaster or you have an online business or you're an artist, I can help you out with anything, all right? I got services such as website building, email marketing, video editing, social media management, ad management, creative content, strategy, consultations, and I can help you out no matter what your budget is. Now that's key right there. I got great prices. Plus I have a wide variety of low, medium, and high tier services so I can help you out no matter what your need is. So make sure you go check out my company over at apexmusicsystem.com. And, like I tell you every time, make sure you let them know that I told you about my company right here on Music Making Sense Podcast. So I know that this ad's actually working. All right. I'm going to shut up so you can get back to the show.
Yeah, but I could.
Like we said in the last episode, when you are running ads or doing any kind of promotion where you got to pay for it, don't think it's a scam. For one, not everything's free in life, but also for two, like you have to pay to go faster. Money is the fuel in the tank of your car to get you down the road. And like I always keep saying, the car is what you build. Like your wheels help you go. So it's the social media platform. You get your email, you got your website, you got your streaming platforms, you got all these different things, right? That build as your whole car, your personality, your persona, your merchandise, what you do. And that is really what your music feeds into. Your music is the promotional aspect of you as a brand, whether you're a band, whether you're a solo artist, it doesn't matter, because ultimately, even when people were able to buy CDs, cassettes, and vinyls and stuff like that, people would have more sales on merchandise, than anything else. Concert experiences, VIP stuff, all that kind of shit. You would make more money on that than you would record sales. For one, like the record sale has so much more that goes into it, so you have more slices off the cheese, as ICP used to say, right? Like you would have more slices off the cheese kept getting taken until you owe the company money, basically, because you gotta pay for the material to make the fucking CD, and then you got, the producer and the engineer and the composer, like the record label, your manager, your advertising, blah blah blah, right? And then all these bills and stuff like that come out of the final product. But with merchandise, it's very simple. You own your own intellectual property. So your face on there, your band's name on there, your artist name on there, whatever it is, your likeness, the design, you either create the design yourself or you pay somebody to create the design one time, right? And then you put it on fabric and you sell, you know what I'm saying? And so then you just recoup back the expense of the making of it, right? And so you can actually make a higher profit margin off of that. You always could, and like I said, like my dad, he's a juggalo now, but he used to be a Kiss Army freak. And like I grew up with, Kiss Army flag, him wearing the Kiss Army leather jacket. Like he got action figures still on his wall from Kiss and from ICP.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? The action figures, the box sets and everything like that. My mom's second husband, she's had 4, but her second husband, everything in the house was Coca-Cola polar bears every fucking where, right? It had nothing to do with music, but like he would buy more Coca-Cola polar bear merchandise than he would actually drinking Coke. Like, I don't remember hardly ever drinking Coke, but he had the polar bear fucking shit everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the merchandise, the memorabilia, and the collectability of some of that as well, too. Because my dad, all the action figures are still in the box. You know what I'm saying? When ICP and even when Kiss had their comic book runs, my dad's got like all the fucking comic books. You know what I'm saying? Put them in sleeves and all that shit. And a lot of people are like that. Now, today, one thing that he said 100,000% that I don't think I've said is in this video, not my dad, sorry, but in this video, Musicians Ignite, he said that you have to follow basic economics and the law of supply and demand, right? And the law of supply and demand is if there's a lot of something in the economy, it becomes less valuable. And his numbers were a little off. He said 100,000, but it's actually closer to 150,000 songs a day are uploaded to all the streaming platforms. So you have 150,000 songs a day added every single day times 365. That's like what, 36 million or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Songs a year. And then it just keeps on going. It keeps on growing more and more and more and more every single year, right? And so like actually it's going to be more than that. It's going to be like 7 million, 70, anyway. It's going to be a lot of millions,
it's gonna
right?
Be up there. It's going to be up there. It's
going
to be
a lot of millions.
It's going to be close to 10 million or more. And and actually, when you think about it, when you actually think about it, it's going to increase. Because if you looked at the total from when Wendy Day spoke about there was 60, 57, she said 60 or 50 or 60,000 songs uploaded. And that was like, that was a couple years ago. And I want to be specific because I remember it when she said it.
I
think
believe it got close to 100.
Yeah. So that tells you right there. And she
so
said it on the cheat code if you guys get a chance to check it out. But there's one thing I wanted to touch on that you were bringing up, dude. And this was like, it really hit me. And I ended up just pulling out one of the cards. We've talked about this before, but I want to touch on it again. And it's about sonic branding. And shout out to Jenna Isham, who works with Dreamer Productions. And I want to say this, guys, when it comes to the music, right? Think about the Taco Bell ding. Now, I want to tell a little bit of story about this because it was a dichotomy that happened with this, right? With both Gina and I, with Gina and I. This was at the Taxi Music Road Rally that I went to last November.
Yeah, back in November of last year, right?
Last year. Got another one coming up this year. Big up to it. Hell yeah.
November.
So, but she brought up about when she hit the ding, it was the bell, the Taco Bell ding, right? But for me at that moment, I thought of The Undertaker. And here's why. Number one, because Undertaker's thing, when you hear that ding, I know that hear that bell, that bell tone, you know, if you're into wrestling, you know that tone. I also had detached myself from Taco Bell because I had gotten really, my stomach started getting screwed up on, and I started just,
Well, Taco Bell's not real food. So
but anyway, but because of that detachment, I automatically went to The Undertaker. But here's what I'm saying, guys. For both of us, it meant something that was in the market, something that was consumable, right? WWE, wrestling, and Taco Bell. Those are consumable products. And I even think one time that Bell came on and they had one like the Undertaker Cup, like they were going. I think it was like a wrestling.
Like they did back in the 90s.
Yeah, they did some.
Yeah.
They did some for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I totally remember that.
Yeah,
right?
One of the WrestleManias like late 90s or something. Yeah.
So there is that relativity because yes, those guys do sell products, and like when you think about Seth Rollins' song, I'm hearing, and even Cody Rhodes, like people in the audience is singing their songs, their theme song, their entrance song. Yep, they're singing their entrance songs, dude. Everyone
even Kurt Angle.
Well, they did the whole "you suck." They made the audience made that one, which is cool,
awesome.
Right? But no, like I know Motionless in White does a song for Rhea Ripley. They know the people know, and people know who they are, right? So
yeah, and then just like what's that dude's name? I hear voices.
Randy Orton. I forgot who does it.
Yeah,
I forgot who does his song.
It's probably like Avenged Sevenfold.
No,
or
it's not
else
Avenged.
with eyeliner on.
No, he said with the eyeliner. You're wrong as hell, dude.
Well, that's like half the rock bands. Fuck, I'm not being fucking crazy.
Hey man, leave the guy liner alone, damn it. Anyway,
guy liner. That's hilarious. Well, because there's this dude who at the gym, he's like 17, 18, something like that or whatever. But he's got like long hair, and he'll put guy liner on apparently or whatever, right? But like he walks around like, you know, like that's like the only thing that like is like I don't know. It's not even a feminine thing that he's doing, right? Either it's like a rock type of thing or whatever.
It is.
And I always call it like his nickname for me is the Mascara Man. That's what I call him, is Mascara Man.
That's
I'm like,
funny.
oh, is Mascara Man here today?
That's funny.
Yeah.
but just thinking about that, like, yeah, your music is not a product. Your music is attached to the product. So that's why, you know, you think about getting into like putting your music into commercials and things like that, even like sounds, right? Creating different sounds, like it's like that bell, for example, right? You just, it's like we don't think about, like, I think when it comes to money or even monetizing, and even like where we can place our music, the reason why Spotify is so saturated is because so many people think that that's the only place where that's the only chance of them getting their music heard, which has some validity, but also think about,
not much.
but yeah, I can have some, that's why I said some, right? But we don't, but you got to look at YouTube. You have to look at Facebook. You have to look at Instagram, TikTok, right? Reddit, so many other there's so many different platforms, and video games. There's streaming. There's, like I said, there's here you got Sonic branding. You have, there are you got Taxi. You have sync licenses, and all these other there are places where you can put your music. And again, guys, the reason your music doesn't, when you think about it too, though, the music was always attached to something. Even you as a brand, like when you think of Barry White, or you think about the Jackson 5, you think about Creedence Clearwater Revival, Leonard Skinner, all of them, they had a brand attached to them. That's why today you hear their music still in commercials. You still hear it because, and another thing I want to say too is that stop focusing on your music being a hit song right away. Sometimes it takes a year. Like Cheryl, sometimes it takes 2 years. It just depends on when a song makes an impact. Because when you think about Sheryl Crow, Sheryl Crow's Tuesday Night Music Club didn't make it until about a year of its being out, and it was until all I want to do is have some fun. It was that song, but also was Leaving Las Vegas. That was the one song that got me into her. But then where she blew up, it was All I Want to Do Is Have Some Fun. That song there.
I just recognize her with those sad dog commercials on TV.
That's Cheryl. Like that's Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm confusing my white women in Iraq in the 90s again. But yeah, like even with that one, right? You could, even with that one, I mean, she made an impact as well too, because now people use that as memes. Sometimes like video memes or whatever, when like somebody does like a fail or something, they'll start playing the Sarah McLachlan song.
Building a memory. Yeah.
No. The one that she does on like the adopt a dog who's like been abused or sick and dying one. Yeah, it's like the super sad song. Yeah. But like, all right, y'all, let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous, okay? It's called HorribleDesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy, outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out HorribleDesigns.com. At HorribleDesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out HorribleDesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, are you staring at my ass, with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, are you staring at my beaver, with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, horribledesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show. People will do that, but yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, what you're talking about with a hit song, excuse me, what you're talking about with a hit song is like we were talking about in last episode. Everybody's like, oh, I want to get a hit song, but like I pointed out, most people don't have the back end ready.
Yeah.
You're either pre-promoting a fucking song that you don't have out on distribution, so you can't capitalize off of it starting to get a bunch of plays either on social media and or on streaming platforms. Right. And then of course, if you don't have it up on distribution, more than likely you don't have it registered on your PRO, whether it's ASCAP or BMI, whether it's MLC, whether it's Music X Exchange for your lyrics, SOCAN if you're in Canada or whatever, and all that stuff. Like, you don't even have that set up, but you're out here promoting something. And like what KP said, you're trying to have a song out here that would be a hit, but you're not even pushing it properly. So if it does become a hit, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like what's next? Like I was talking to a client yesterday afternoon as well too. And like they're a management company, and I told them, I was like, hey, here's our, I'm the marketing person with them. And I'm like, hey, look, here's the plan and everything like that. Make sure you get, have the artist create, a couple of songs and do, make sure you guys get it registered and put the distro scheduled out for X date. And then before, that date, which was August 1st, right? Before August 1st, make sure you guys get enough, we get enough content that we can chop into 30 days worth of clips with the music behind it and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Right. And then I get on the call yesterday because it's almost the first and stuff like that. And we've been going back and forth over the last couple of weeks, but on the call yesterday and, oh yeah, they tell me, oh yeah, we've been, posting stuff up on his socials, for promotion for that song. And I'm just like, what
the fuck?
I was like, okay, but you're leaving a lot on the table and stuff. They're like, well, we're just trying to like build some hype around his, to start getting some people eyeballs on his, and followers on his channel. And I said, okay, but social media doesn't run on the follower graph anymore. It runs on the interest graph. So if you do get followers, there's no guarantee that any of those followers are going to see the content when we start putting it out after launch. There's no guarantee. Mm-hmm. There's some guarantee, but it's not 100% guaranteed. That's not how it works. It has to be on the same interest graph. Yeah. And he's like, well, we submitted it through TuneCore, and it's not supposed to be out for 4 weeks until the 23rd of August. So what are we supposed to do for the next 4 weeks? I said, create content and stack it. So that way, if this artist has another fucking mental breakdown, or he breaks up from another fucking stripper girlfriend and he goes off the grid for 2 or 3 weeks on a bender or something, we ain't got to worry about being behind a month on content. Right. And they didn't really have much to say. I mean, obviously they had their cameras off, so I can't see their facial expression, which is whatever. And I can talk about them because I know they're not going to listen to this podcast. I've told them fucking 17 times to listen to the podcast. So if they listen to it, I might be fired after this one. Fuck it. But like the thing is like, if you're not going to listen to me on our one-on-one calls and you start listening to my podcast, okay, well, at least you're listening, I guess. Right. So I'll know if you're listening because you're going to get pissed. But what I'm saying is, it's like, I even told him, and like, I was like, okay, well, you're leaving all this money on the table because all these views that you're getting on social media, for one, you're not getting paid anything off of, the royalties back to your distribution for streams. And then you're also not allowing people to use that music to create their own UGC, user generated content, which that increases the virality of pieces of content within that song. Right. And he's like, well, no, man, I uploaded the song into the video and stuff, so it's there. I was like, it's not in the fucking TikTok or Instagram library, though. People can't go and find that song in the library and use it in their content. He's like, but I put it in the content. I'm like, you're not understanding, though. I was like, just because you uploaded it on that one piece of content, the only thing people can do is duet with that specific piece of content. That's it. Right. That's all they can do. I was like, on top of the fact that that song's not even registered yet, the song's not up on distros yet. So you can't get any mechanical or streaming royalties off of it. I was like, so, okay, yeah, you're doing it to get some attraction to his profile. Okay, bare minimum, let's just say I agree with that premise, because I do, right? I agree with the premise. Let's get some attraction to his profile.
Right.
What if one of those pieces of content goes viral?
Yeah.
Then what? We don't have a follow-up. The song is not up to be able to be streamed. It's not able to be purchased. There's no follow-through. People can't do anything but continue viewing that one little piece of content. He's like, well, you know, he's got like 400 views on this one video. I was like, that's 400 bare minimum 3-second views.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean somebody viewed the whole fucking thing. It's 3 seconds. I'm like, you hired me as a marketing person, but you're wanting to do your own marketing strategy. You can keep paying me every month if you want to.
I don't understand that.
Go for it. Keep paying me every month. But I even told him too. I was like, look, you hired me and another dude, right? It's like, you hired us to be your marketing, because me and Dan, right? You know, Dan's been on the show before, right?
Shout out to
So
Dan.
technically they hired Dan, but I'm working with Dan, right? So like they hired, I was like, you hired me and Dan to help you with your marketing. We gave you a fucking full plan. We shot it in a video for you and gave you a fucking, you know, document, checklist type shit, right? I'm like, we gave you a full plan on what we need by the first, what we need from you, what we need from the artist. If you can't get the artist to get it done, that's on you. You're management. That's why we left management, because we're tired of being fucking babysitters for adults that are entitled and lazy at the same time. How the fuck you be entitled and lazy at the same time? It's crazy, right? I was like, but you're paying us.
It totally
but you're
happens.
paying us our exactly. But you're paying us your monthly retainer for us just to be here to be your marketing team, right? And you're not giving us any content to actually market. You know, you want us to be more involved with social media. Okay, we have nothing to fucking push. Well, we got this stuff right here. Yeah, but you don't have this stuff to go through. You're leaving everything on the fucking table, and then you're not wanting to listen to us. And then you want to talk about, oh, well, we're feel like we're losing money right now. Listen to us. Use the money wisely. We're giving you, like, because I'm like, look, you know, if you're hiring us, and then you're not doing anything that we're suggesting, don't look at us whenever you don't get the results you think you should get, because it's on your marketing plan that you're acting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes a long ways with when you're an individual artist managing yourself, for instance, doing your own marketing. You need to create a plan and stick to it. And working at least 30 days in advance is going to be the best thing for you to do. Whether you hire a marketer or not, you're doing it all yourself, fucking more power to you, right? Work at least 30 days in advance. So if you do have a bad week, you get sick, something, your computer breaks, any shit happens, right? Shit always happens. You at least are working 30 days in advance so you can catch up. You got a week or so you can play with. You got a couple weeks you can fucking play with or whatever, right? And you're always working a little bit ahead. But the thing is that when you are a new management company and you finally got your first 2 artists and you're all antsy, or you're a new artist and you're antsy about getting the stuff out there, you're super proud of your stuff, you're all hyper and everything like that, you want to create and post. Well, for one, you can't do that. Proper planning prevents poor performance.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That's just what it does. So yeah, I kind of went off on a rant there.
But no, you're right.
Like,
I mean, but at the same time, you're so right, dude. Like, it's just, you have to plan. You got
and, you know,
to.
and like, you know, a lot of people will try to throw out any name, right? Any name on the mainstream big tent stage, right? Oh, well, so-and-so just dropped an album randomly. I'm like, no, they didn't. They made that 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
They made that music video about 4 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Because like, that's how these big companies work. These big companies work 6 months at least in advance. You know, like at the beginning of the fiscal year, they say, okay, let's get the blueprint for this next year. Okay. And then they work it all out. And then they tell the artist, all right, you know, by this date, you're going to have X amount of songs to us for review to put together for your album, right? And then they put together the album. Then they're like, okay, we got the album. Now we got to get all the treatments for all the videos, put together all the promotional material and all that. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. They don't just hop in the studio like what Harco says right here, put on the microphone, hop in the studio, blah, 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 right? Get on the fucking mic and then have it mixed and mastered in a day or two by either themselves or their engineer. Right? You know what I'm saying? They're by themselves, do it by an engineer or by some software or something. They don't get mixed and mastered in a couple of days. And then be like, all right, let's put it out. No, it's like people are like, oh, the death of Slim Shady. He did pre-promotion. It's fucking Eminem. He's been around for 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was an angry teen who hated that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But everybody in my neighborhood liked him, right? And I'm fucking 38. Like, this motherfucker's been alive for forever. He's built up his fucking presence where he can do that.
He's my
Drake,
age.
Taylor Swift.
He's
Yeah,
50.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He's fucking
yeah, exactly.
50.
He's like 50.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying though is he's had enough
Or
time in the
49, I
game.
think. I'm not too sure.
Motherfucker, like,
Yeah.
you know, exactly. Like, this guy has went multiple diamond on records. People know who he is. Even though it's incorrect, he's known as being the first white rapper, right? And like, he has all this notoriety. He's built up all this fame, this name recognition. So yeah, he can do some pre-promotion. Because for one, anything that he's doing pre-promotion on with these blogs and those articles and, you know, stuff like that were going around, you didn't hear a single snippet off the music.
Yep.
Because can't collect on it.
He could put
You know
out
what I'm
an Eminem's song out now and say just that, and that's it. You know, he doesn't have to go through what you have to go through a little. You gotta go
But
through.
you're not there. You're not Eminem.
I mean, neither one of us are either. But we understand.
No matter how many times people want to say, "Oh, you're a white rapper. What are you trying to be, Eminem?" I'm still not Eminem.
Exactly. Okay? No, and you're so right. No, and I'm very glad you
Yeah.
said that because it's so true, bro. You get so many people who look at being, when it comes to an artist, especially beginning artists, like, you're just starting out, man. You're green. You are a green card. You're like a green card pro wrestler, dude. You just you're starting on the indies. You're in this indie circuit. You're doing local shows before you hit WWE, AEW, and Ring of Honor and TNA, dude. Okay, wait, but what they're saying is that and I get what you're saying. It's like, you can't keep looking at yourself at that level when you're only starting off with 100 monthly listeners or 0 listeners, right? You can't be sitting there talking about that's not how Eminem did it. That's not how
or anybody.
That's
Drake,
not how
Beyonce,
Tool did.
Taylor Swift.
Tool didn't do
Tool,
that,
yeah.
right? It's like, okay, do you know what
compare
the fuck,
yourself to
right?
Tool? Fuck
do you
you.
understand what the hell those guys, all of them, what they all had to go through, whether you like them or
exactly.
not? Do you understand what they had to go through in order to get where they are today?
Yeah. All right, y'all. I just want to take a quick break right here to tell you about something hot and spicy. And no, I'm not talking about that Latina thing that you saw on Tinder the other day. I'm talking about hot sauce. And not just any hot sauce, but Tennessee Hot Sauce Co. All right? I personally know the owner of Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, and I've seen him grow this company from just something that he would sell a few bottles at the local farmer's market to something that can ship all across the United States now, all right? And you guys have a unique opportunity right now to save 20% by using the code MMCPOD when you check out on any order over at Tennessee Hot Sauce Company's website. All right, that's tnhotsauceco.com. Make sure y'all go check them out and use the code MMCPOD over at checkout and save 20%. You guys got to check this out. All right, they have all kinds of great flavors. My personal favorite is Poblano Jalapeno. It has a mild kick to it because I'm a little bit of a bitch when it comes to spices, but it has great flavor. I put it on all kinds of stuff. I put it on steaks. I put it on burgers when I'm cooking them. I put it on tacos and enchiladas, stuff like that as well too. But I've tried many of these other flavors like the garlic habanero and the honey habanero, the blood orange ghost, and the pineapple habanero. Now, the pineapple habanero was one that really snuck up on me because it had a great sweet flavor of the pineapple, and it wasn't nothing overbearing, but it had a very good flavor to it. And then all of a sudden, boom! I got hit in the ass with a habanero, and I had to go grab some milk, all right? But these are some great flavors, and they have all kinds of different options. They have the collection, which has the full lineup of all 6 of their most popular sauces. They also have different subscription boxes. You have a 3-sauce option, a 4-sauce option, yearly and bi-yearly options is available as well too for the boxes. Then you also have all kinds of other new flavors that they have that I've never tried yet. I actually got to get that shipment in here soon, of the barrel aged whiskey and the mustard dill scorpion. Those are 2 that look very, very interesting, and I want to try them out. One thing I did try is one of their new options that they have here, which is the poblano jalapeno beef jerky. But like I said, I love the poblano jalapeno sauce, and whenever I tried this jerky, no bullshit, I ate the whole bag before I can even sit down and shoot this promo right here, all right? And so luckily, I know the owner, like I said, so I got another bag on the way, but y'all gotta go check it out. And he also told me they got some more flavors coming out of the jerky as soon as they get operations up and running on that brand new venture right there, all right? So again, make sure y'all go over tnhotsauceco.com, use promo code MMCPOD at checkout, and save 20% on your order. And on top of that, orders $50 and over are free shipping in the United States. So again, make sure you go check this out. Small batch, small brand, but powerful flavors. Tennessee Hot Sauce Company. Now, let's get back to the show. I think it's so crazy when people do that, because like, I completely understand looking at the different marketing things that they do up on the main stage, right? And then being like, oh, well, let me try to emulate that in my own way down here, right? Like with building a brand, using beef as hype and promotion, or, different tactics that they do. I get that to an extent, because I always say, Eminem is a bigger beef salesman than fucking Omaha Steaks, right? But like that one? But because that is, he always has to sell off of every fucking thing. It's always beef with him.
Him and dude, I gotta say, him and 50 both, man.
50's more of a
50's
troll.
Okay, yeah, 50
yes.
does do the troll. 50 does do the troll.
50's way more of a troll, but yes, he did get his start with beefing with his Ja Rule, beefing, and then it turned into Game, and then it was Lloyd Banks, and you know what I'm saying, like all these other people and shit like that. But yeah, Eminem, his whole thing has been beef. He's always been beefing with somebody, Christina Aguilera or Britney Spears or fucking whoever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Even
like
sometimes
he's beefing
he
with Trump
with
in
himself.
2018 or whatever.
Even sometimes he beefs with himself. Yeah. Like,
yeah, exactly. It depends on how many pills he's on, right? Exactly.
Leave him alone about that. He's off that shit.
I'm just saying. Yeah, now, but yeah, like,
Still off.
I don't know, but they yeah, you just have to, what was I saying? He's bigger anyway, you're not them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like looking at some of the tactics that they do and trying to put them into perspective and to play in your own thing is good.
Right.
But the biggest piece that people forget and fail to even look at, even if they know it's there, they don't look at it, right? But I think most people just don't know it's there, is all the planning and preparation and the back-end business work that goes in before a release that these big labels do, that these indie artists don't even emulate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the most important part. Yes, okay, technically the marketing, promotion, the awareness is very, very important, because without that, you're just singing to yourself in the shower. But like, you have to have the back end. That's way more. That's where you get the dollars and cents back. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, you're gonna go out here, you're gonna start doing beef with people and stuff like that to get awareness. You're gonna be in contests. You're gonna do whatever. You're gonna post a dick pic like Drake or whatever the fuck you're gonna end up doing, right? And you're gonna do whatever. But you don't have the back end. But you don't have the back end in place.
Oh my gosh.
To be able to capitalize off of any of the attention.
No.
Yes. Seriously, we're laughing because I'm saying stupid shit in between all the good stuff, right? But you don't have any of the back end in place.
Right.
You gotta have that. That's the most important.
No doubt. No
you know
doubt.
what I'm saying? No, I'm saying, because like I was talking to my barber this morning, like I took my kids to get a haircut and shit like that, and he's a volunteer firefighter and shit like that. When he was going through his fire school, because we were talking about houses, because he's looking for a house, but he's like, I'm like, hey man, there's a couple houses around my way, blah blah, because he's looking for something out in the country, and I'm like, hey, there's a couple houses about my way, yada yada, And I was asking him today, I'm like, you still look for houses? There's another one that just opened up. And he's like, nah, man, the interest rates are crazy, blah, 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 and everything like that. He's like, we're talking about the housing economy, everything like that. Well, we start talking about, I'm like, yeah, well, they're still building a lot of new houses. He's like, man, these new houses are built like shit. When I was going through my fire safety course, they were telling us how these new houses are built, and they hardly use any nails.
Nope.
He's like, they have these, I can't remember what it's called, but they have, like, I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen a new house going up and you look at the trusses, right, which is what builds the roof. If you look at that, you'll see on the joints, you'll see big, like, square metal pieces, right? And so what those are big metal square pieces that have tabs that you pull down, and it's like a spike strip. And they fucking hammer that into the wood, and it holds the joint structurally secure, right? Which is pretty good. You put it on both sides. It does a pretty decent job. It's better than just like one or two nails failing, right? You got like a bunch of grab points in there. So in theory, yeah. But they're building almost a whole house with that kind of shit in the joints now. And then also they put wood glue in between that as they're doing it too. They're like, it's like they're building the fucking popsicle house, right? And so he was like, yeah, man, these things catch on fire and they fall over quick. Like, and like I've even seen it too. Like some of these houses that are $250,000, $300,000, which depending on where you live may seem like poor people houses, but here in Indiana, that's like decent price houses, right? But like they'll get wind damage, right? Where like the siding gets ripped off, and you'll be able to see their drywall because they have no plywood on the outside of their house. It goes on the inside, it goes drywall, and then the studs, which are the beams that hold up the wall, right? And then after that, they don't even have like real insulation really. Like they have the pink filling a little bit, but then they have like a foam outer thing, and then on top of the foam they put the siding, which that foam used to be plywood that they would put there, you know what I'm saying? But they don't do that anymore. Well, that's how a lot of artists are building their house now. They're trying to use fucking glue and bubble gum and shit like that to put together their motherfucking their music career, and that shit it blows over, it burns down quick. And that's a long-winded analogy for me saying, get your shit straight.
Yeah, man. Build a stronger house, build a foundation. Build a strong foundation.
You got to build the foundation. You got to have all the working pieces. And so, whenever and see, I use some stuff like that from the mainstream as examples to people. I'm like, hey, look how, Eminem did like a week or two of pre-promotion for Death of Slim Shady, right? That's about it. But then I see these indie artists who try to do a month or two of pre-promotion for their next single or album, right? I'm just like, for a single? Are you fucking out of your damn mind, right?
Right.
And they're like, well, so-and-so did pre-promotion. I'm like, for one, he's got name recognition, right? We just went over that. For two, he's got the back end put in place. You don't. And for three, he only did like a week or two, right? And it was just blog PR runs to build hype. He wasn't getting people snippets. He wasn't posting promo clips.
No.
You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. And like when Drake drops an album or whoever, you'll hear about them making an album. But they also have the recognition and the hype already built from their fame that you don't, as an independent artist. Unless, of course, you got like 20,000 avid fans. And it's a little different story, right? Yeah. But when you only have a few hundred to a few thousand listeners a month, and like a couple hundred people on your email list, if that, you know what I'm saying? You're nowhere near that. Unless you have a few thousand or tens of thousands of people on your email list, shut the fuck up and listen to me, all right?
Please.
Because what you got to do is you got to build everything up and then hit them, and just don't stop hitting them. Anytime you get in front of somebody is an opportunity for them to take the next action to go and listen to your music, buy your music, go to your website, get on your email list, buy your merch, everything like that. Every time you get in front of somebody is an opportunity for them to start going down that journey. But if you get in front of them and you're just teasing them, it doesn't, people get pissed off. Like, oh, I want to go listen to that song. Oh, it's not available. Well, I want to go listen to that song. I don't want to listen to these songs. You go and listen to the other songs. Okay, those are cool, but I really got that one stuck in my fucking head. Or, you maybe a teenager hears it and they're like, oh, I want to use that song in an edit, right? And make like an anime edit or some goofy edit or whatever the fuck kind of edit. Kids make edits all the time. It's easy to make fucking videos nowadays, right? On your phone. They want to do that. Well, it's not in the TikTok thing. They can't go download it off YouTube. They can't go grab it anywhere. And they're like, well, fuck, I can't. There's not in the CapCut, because CapCut's owned by the same company that owns TikTok. It's not in the library for CapCut, so they can't use it. So they can't make it. So you can't end up getting another 1 to 3 cents per view that video will get on YouTube.
Yeah.
right? You can't end up getting another 30 cents or so for every single time that song has a new creation on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? You're missing out on all these stuff. People are like, oh, 1 to 3 cents, what do you fucking do? 1 to 3 cents, add that up by about 20 to 30,000. Okay, that's a couple bucks. Add that up by a couple million, right? What if one of these, my kids have been into like, they get like clips of anime videos and they put it together to like different music with different effects and shit like that. And it's like, there's a whole community for that, right? And they use all kinds of music for it. But like, there's some people in that community who have millions of subscribers. They will drop a video, an AMV edit that's like 15 seconds long, 30 seconds long tops, right? They will drop something and it'll get millions of views in one day, right? And if that was your song on there, you'd be glowing. Just like, okay, let's say about this, not to get political, but when Trump got shot, right? 50 Cent made a post on TikTok that said, holy shit. He said, holy shit, Trump gets shot and I'm trending, right? Because everybody started making memes and edit videos and shit like that with 50 Cent's song, Many Men in there, right? When Trump got shot, right? And like I said, political views aside, right? We're talking about the instance. And so what did 50 Cent do? He's a troll, but he knows how to capitalize on attention. So what he did was he reshared a meme image that somebody did where they took one of his album covers and imposed Trump's face over it.
Get Rich
right?
or Die Trying.
And so
his body shot
exactly,
of
to get rich.
Yeah, a body shot of
exactly.
Get Rich or Die Trying and then
so,
Trump's face.
Yeah, exactly. And so he retweeted that to gain more traction. And then later that night, he had a performance. He put that image behind him on the picture as he was rapping Many Men. And people caught videos of that shit and it went crazy. But on top of that, guess how many thousands or millions of streams probably 50 Cent got because somebody else got shot this time, not him, right? You know what I'm saying? All because his song was available to be used for one.
And because of his own history, his brand.
His own history, he built his brand. He built the popularity off of it. I saw so many different things. Dude, I saw an edit that somebody made of, the movie Get Rich or Die Trying that he made. Well, whenever he comes out and he takes off his body armor, or his bulletproof vest, he takes it off and then he drops it or whatever at the show, like at the end of the thing, and then it comes around and then you see his face. Well, they when it came around to see his face, they imposed Trump's face over it. Yeah, fucking hilarious.
That's crazy.
But anyway, exactly. But the craziness about it is like, look, if you had a song that was kind of like that, people could use that as well too. That's user generated content, and that probably made 50 Cent tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, from somebody else getting shot, because he not only capitalized on it, putting more fuel on that fire, but also, his brand, his persona, everything like that. I mean, just think about it. That song came out in like 2005, 6.
Here's another one. Here's another great one.
And people in 2024, 10-year-olds, 13-year-olds in 2024 are like, oh, let me make an edit with 50 Cent's Many Men on there. Like, I was 18 when that came out. How the fuck does a 12-year-old in 2024 know about that shit, right? Even my kids. Well, my kids, obviously, they look at my wall. Well, one of them, he gets come to my wall for new music, right? But, like, it's like, yo, like, that's a cultural phenomenon, and that's what you have to build. That's what you're selling, and that's, real quick, KP, that's what this guy was saying in his video, was he was talking about the music is not the product. The music is part of the advertising, right? In order to bring awareness to you as a brand, right? And that's what 50 Cent did, not just when Trump got shot, but when he got shot, right? Back in the day, in the early 2000s. That was his whole persona. He was on stage in a bulletproof vest all the time, right? Everything like that. And he made a movie about it, everything. He was his whole brand.
He sure did, man.
And you ain't gotta get shot 9 times and survive somehow like he did to do it. You can do it in whatever thing. If you're a metal band and your shit is like dark shit, like Satan ain't got nothing on our darkness type of shit, right? Ooh. Then that's your brand. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna use that in your next song? Go for it. But you go ahead and use that in your next song, KP.
Like that.
For those who don't know, KP is like a really dark metal artist. But you build that as your brand and stuff like that, and then you sell all kinds of stuff like that, like blackout face paint or something like that, or fucking, you're selling fucking upside down crucifixes or whatever the fuck your merch is, right?
Clothes, a certain brand, pants,
because I mean, anything, right? You know, you sell the bracelet with the spikes and shit like that, but the spikes actually like are like crosses or some shit,
or it
something,
could say
any
your name,
pentagrams or whatever
or
the
something
fuck.
like that. Yeah,
To say your band name in the middle of it, like the pentagrams can spell it out or some shit. You can do anything with it. Creativity's sky's the limit, right? Like Biggie used to say.
But I was thinking about CM Punk, right? With the song, with him using Cult of Personality. With Living Color is getting paid because when that song hits, that entrance song hits for CM Punk, and the crowd response that this man is getting, he's got a hell of a brand. He's got, and the straight edge, the pipe bomb, all that, and that song when that guitar reverbery hits that, or actually when it's that, we're gonna talk right down to a language that everyone here can easily understand. That Malcolm X intro, and then that guitar riff that Vernon Reed hits. Boy, let me tell you, the whole crowd goes nuts.
Exactly, and me and KP were talking about wrestling in the branding of it before the show, which honestly we should have put that on here. But either way,
we can definitely talk about
it.
Something we can talk about.
Probably something we should start doing is recording our talks beforehand. I mean, it's not the personal shit, but like, you know, the branding and marketing shit beforehand, and then we have that as like a bonus content. That'd be good. Anyway, that's workshopping right here live on the air.
But as we were talking about with branding.
Yeah, we were talking about wrestling. Yeah, thank you. We were talking about wrestling, and like what KP just said, whenever that first half a second to a second of the song hits, like even if you don't like wrestling, go and watch an episode of wrestling, any whatever, right? Whenever that song, that entrance song turns on, everybody stands up and they go crazy.
Especially for the baby faces. Especially the baby faces.
Yeah.
Especially the faces.
Yeah.
Jey Uso. Listen, look at how people doing the whole yeet. Dude, they're going crazy with that, right? I mean, wait till Roman.
Even the villains.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wait till
like when Bray Wyatt came out with the Firefly thing, everybody like the lights went out, everybody turned on their light on their phone. You know what I'm saying? And you just saw that everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like when he had that, even whenever he was the Fiend and shit like that, it was it went dark and everybody's like, like they knew what was gonna happen and shit like that. Like, you know, you build that, and like the music sets the theme. Like we always say, all right, y'all, I just want to hop in here again real quick. Yes, I know again, but you know what? We rock with a lot of people here, and a lot of people rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast. So I got to tell you about all these great people, all right? And this one right here, right now, is Mad K Studios, all right? Go check them out, madkstudios.com. Mad K is a dope artist, man. This guy can draw or paint almost anything, okay? He really, really specializes in, like, portrait arts for memorialization of your favorite car or a family member or a loved one or something like that. All right. Full commission artwork, no copy and paste shit or nothing like that. All right. Custom designs. If you want it, make sure you go hit up madkstudios.com for your custom art piece. And you can even go check out some of the pieces that he's done for freelance and stuff like that. And you can also get it on a shirt. He's got coffee mugs and mouse pads and all kinds of other decorative pieces of artwork that you can go and check out as well too. So if you're a connoisseur of art, you're looking for a nice piece of knickknack or something like that around the house, or if you want a custom artwork designed for a loved one or something that's cherished in your life that you want memorialized in an actual painting, a real painting, make sure you go check out madkstudios.com. Let them know Harco's over at Music Making Sense Podcast sent you. All right, let's get back to the show. Music is an audible experience. But we live in a visual world. Our eyes guide everything that we do in life, and especially with social media. I mean, we're scrolling through, looking with our eyes. We're not scrolling through with our eyes closed, listening. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to bring that visual content that's entertaining and engaging when you are promoting your music as well, too. Because then when people are it's going to start catching, and then if it becomes a meme style fucking thing, then it's going to catch on, and then you're going to be one of those things when, you know, like we were talking about the Sarah McLachlan thing. People make funny edits using the Sarah McLachlan song and stuff like that. When they'll be sitting there watching somebody skateboard and he'll like trip and fail and rack his nuts, and then they'll play the Sarah McLachlan song. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Right.
It's always
Yeah.
like to do stupid shit like
Yup.
that, right? And like we said with the Trump thing too.
Becoming
with the
a
getting
meme.
shot thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, your music could be used in memes, and then that will really get fired up. So you can, if you're a troll like 50 Cent or like kind of like him and shit like that, you can start your own memes with your and you can see if it catches, and you find some some influencers. Something just popped in my ear. You can find some influencers who will create a video to your stuff as well too. You maybe find some streamers and stuff like that to use your stuff on their Twitch or whatever, and some of their edits and stuff,
Mhm.
like especially like if you make some aggressive music or whatever, if it's no matter what genre is it, if it's aggressive, you find some of these Call of Duty streamers that they want to fucking cut a clip of them rushing a fucking an enemy. They can have your music behind it and shit like that, and you just give it to them.
Yep.
Right? But hey, here you go. Go ahead and use it. Maybe you offer, hey, I'll finish the edit for you, or something. You know what I'm saying? You do something favor for favor, or just straight pay them to use your shit. That's gonna help start getting your shit out there. That's a form of sync placement, whether you think it or not. It's not just movies and television, because I'm telling you, there's a whole ecosystem out here online within the short form video content world, where music is the soundtrack to the visual, whether it's funny or it's angry or whatever it is, right? And if your music gets used in that, sky's the limit, man. Because like some of the times I'm hearing my kids listen, they're 16, right? But over the years, since they were like 11, 12, when they first started getting on cell phones and shit like that and watching TikTok and all that shit,
Mhm.
that whenever I'll be sitting in my room and all of a sudden I start hearing them playing some song, and I'm like, well, you listening to that song? They're like, what song? Like, they don't even really notice half the time. They're like, oh yeah, that song that was just in an edit. Like, they were watching for the video, and it was just in the background. But then they'll end up making their own videos using the same songs and stuff like that. Like, there was this one song one of my kids was using the other day to make an edit, and it was, I can't remember. It wasn't Ron Isley. It was it was like Neo or something like that. There was a song about cheating. You know what I'm saying? From back in the, anyways, a song about like, I caught my girl cheating on me type of thing, right? It was like, I caught you cheating with another man, blah, blah, blah.
Was that Drew Hill?
Maybe.
Somebody sleeping in my bed. Somebody.
No, not somebody sleeping in my bed.
Okay.
No. It was like, I caught you with another, something like that. Anyway, I'm sitting there. He's like editing, and I'm hearing it. And I'm like, did Naruto get cheated on or something like that? And he was like, what? And I was like, you're making a song you're making an edit with a song about somebody getting cheated on. He's like, oh no, it's a death scene one. I'm like, that's not a death song. That's somebody fucked my girl song, dude. And he's like, oh. I'm like, yeah. I was like, you're not listening to the fucking song? He's like, oh, it's a trending song right now. I'm like, that was when I was in middle school. It came out. I'm like, it's a trending song now in 2024, a song that came out in the early 2000s. Because people were just like picked it up and used it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'll message it to you later, KP. Maybe I'll throw it in the edit if I get it later or whatever. I'll have to ask him which one. He probably won't even remember what one it is now. No, it's been more than one day.
We'll find out.
So, right. It's been more than one day. This motherfucker don't fucking pay attention. But he might still have it saved on his phone. But anyway, there's a whole world out here for that kind of stuff. And so if you can have your music speak to your brand, it actually says something, and then you can use your music to draw back into you. You don't necessarily have to use the meme shit, right? But what the video we were getting, we were covering gets at is like, hey, look, selling your music is old school.
Yeah.
You use your music to catch attention to yourself, and then you sell them the experience, the insider, the whole brand of you. You know what I'm saying? You get out there and create a video a week where you're just talking to your fans about an interest that you have or something like that, right? You're building that affinity with them to where they feel like they can connect with you more than just listening to your music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Pac did it a little bit, but imagine if Pac was right now in today's society, right? With TikTok and stuff. Whenever, you can still see videos and stuff where Pac was talking about, the trials and tribulations in the black community and stuff like that, right? But imagine if he had TikTok right now and he had a YouTube channel and he'd be coming out once a week, couple times a week or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he was coming out a couple times a week and he was up in here just like talking about boom, 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 dropping that shit or whatever. Even Malcolm X, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody from those days, you know what I'm saying? They made such a connection with people through, the song White Man's World, Brenda's Got a Baby, whatever the song is, right? Where it hit a big cultural thing and people connected with him on a deeper level, and even my white ass just connected with like the feeling of the struggle of it. I never went through half the shit he was talking about, but I still resonated with the brand that he was putting out. Is like, hey, I'm representing this,
and he did a thing,
changes,
right? And he also
and stuff like
the
that.
the one thing I noticed, and you brought up that he did something though, like he touched white people in a way where he was like direct with you, like telling you like this is how we live here in a white man's world. Even what's the song where he was talking about balling, right? He was like, I would share.
About what?
He was talking about, it was on the Outlaws. It was one of the Outlaws with the track where he was talking about, he said something like, I would share balling. I would share the definition of balling with you white folks,
but
right?
nah.
So that whole thing. And then but at the same time, even the one God Rest the Dead, when he talking about shit so real, he makes the white man bleed, right? He touched those nerves in a way where if you were white, you couldn't help but go, well, why is he saying this about me? Then you started listening, and then a lot of y'all started listening, and it was like, oh my God. A lot of white, and I noticed that he ended up having a huge white fan base afterwards because he was able to really he was able to touch white people in a way that it was like, damn,
well, like his song. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of his. I mean, fuck, he's right there above my head for those y'all watching. And he's like, actually, there's a couple more of them over. There's one over here off camera. Like, I was huge into Pac whenever I was in like sophomore, junior, senior high school. You know what I'm saying? And like, even his song "Lord Knows," right? I smoke a blunt to take the pain out, and if I wasn't high, I'd probably try to blow my brains out. I'm hopeless. They tried to kill me as a baby, and now they got me trapped in the storm. I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole shit. You're just like, oh my God. Bro, like even if you're going through some shit where you're feeling like the world's against you, even like as a white man, you know what I'm saying, growing up in America or whatever, right? It like doesn't matter. You're feeling like the world's against you. You put on that song and you're like, I smoke a blunt, take the pain. If I want to high, I'd probably try to, you feel that fucking pain. You know what I'm saying? And even though I couldn't resonate with half the shit, like when you're in that mood, you know what I'm saying? Hail Mary or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Even hit him up whenever you're pissed off. Yeah. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, right? Like you feel the energy behind it. Because music, it really does. Like you said, KP, he had a way of really getting above and beyond. And maybe it was some of his raising, where he was in, theater school and shit like that. So he was not just like stuck in the ghetto type of shit. He was actually like crawling out, like clawing his way out type of shit. And his parents were helping him, even though they were revolutionaries too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was all about, hey, we're revolutionaries, so let's fucking get above this shit. Let's not sit here and bitch, And so he had a lot of connection with that kind of things. And I think he saw things in a way that a lot of people don't too. Yeah. But either way, he built his whole brand even before he started getting towards the end where he was this really, really like gangster shit. Even when he was back in, Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me and shit like that, time frame. Yeah. Whenever he was bringing awareness, he built a brand behind him. They did. And the music, he made a lot of money. And his estate made a lot of money off of his music, but he made so much more off of his shows, off of the branding, everything like that. Just his face. His face is like an image of a martyr, even though, I mean, he wasn't like Martin or Malcolm or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But his face, that image. Like the CD above my head, for those of y'all watching, it could literally be on a fucking coin in circulation. You know what I'm saying? Like the nickel or the quarter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the mark that he left on society, and his music brought light to that. And so, like this guy was saying in this video, Musicians Ignite, your music brings awareness to you as a brand. And then everything else, your merchandise, your experience, your brand in total, it sells everything else that you get off of your music. You know, like he was even saying too, most cars don't have CD players nowadays.
Nope.
So selling a CD, people are not going to listen to it. They're going to get it as a piece of memorabilia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get your signature on it, like he said, and people get a piece of memorabilia. That's it. It's just a piece of merchandise.
Hell, I know. I was looking at a Buddy Miles album. I'm actually, if it's still there, I'm gonna get it. But I was looking at a Buddy Miles album up at the pawn shop, right? And I'm just thinking, I wasn't really thinking about putting it on a record player, but even though I'm thinking of getting one, but at the same time, I got a couple pieces of vinyl over here in my corner, and it's like it's just for me the nostalgia of having them. It's the music. This is what I love, and I still got a bunch of my old CDs that I got over here, right? That I've had since.
Yeah, look, I put my CDs
And you
on
put them
wall.
on the wall, right? So that tells you guys right there, like, yeah.
And I got plenty more. They're burnt CDs that don't have artwork on it. So I got plenty more in my fucking tote over here. Yeah.
Right? But you see, but at the same time, you see how much of a memorabilia it is, though, because because now people see the back of your, when they turn on the podcast, this is what they see. They're going to remember all the CDs that you have up on your wall. And once I get my place straight, they're going to be able to see the instruments, that sort of thing, right? Yeah. So it's always
the instruments and the posters, and all that shit.
Yeah, see, exactly. That whole thing, because that's what music, you know, those things, those products, those pieces, that's what gravitated people towards the music. When you having the 8-track, right? You looked at the art, you looked at the visual of it, you looked at all that stuff. Before,
when you got cassettes, you had the booklet. Even CDs had the book. I mean, these booklets are not just one single piece of paper.
Yep.
They're multiple pieces of paper.
They got lyrics
Sometimes
on
they're folded up like an accordion. Yeah, they got lyrics on them, you know, fold through and stuff like that.
Some of them like a book, some of them like a folded, like you said, folded like an accordion.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and you know, so nowadays, don't actually worry about getting the actual CD. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you do, okay, cool. But like, it's mainly going to be just a piece of art, like you know, that people can have up on their mantle or something like that. You know, have the cool artwork on the top, and have like a digital download QR code inside or whatever, where people can go and download the music, because most people listen on an MP3 format of some kind. You know what I'm saying? So have it like that, but then sell something tangible that you can hand to them and hand sell them at a show. Especially if you go to a show and you don't have shit, not even a business card, don't go to the fucking show.
Yeah.
If you don't even have a business card, don't go to the show. You know what I'm saying? And that business card should have a QR code and a website on there. You got to have all your fucking ducks in a row, you know. But yeah, you got to, these artists, I keep trying to bang my head against a wall when they're like, you know, and even respect to him, even TJ at the end of that fucking video episode. But at the end, you know, he's talking about, you know, oh yeah, you know, we need to get a living wage as musicians and yada yada and stuff like that, because what they pay for streaming ain't shit. And I'm just like, you missed the point, bro. The point isn't streaming. Streaming is not a sales platform. It's a marketing advertising platform, just like your YouTube channel is. Go ahead and be in the partner program all you want. No disrespect. Go ahead and be in the partner program all you want. But even still, you're getting a fraction of anything. You can make way more money selling direct to the fans, or if you want to start helping artists, you can make way more money doing marketing for them, helping them with their marketing, consultation, shit like that. Whatever your skills are, use those skills. But when you're an artist, a band especially, you know, you're more, KP said it before, you know, as a band, you're like a rock band or something like that. You're a glorified t-shirt salesman. Yes, but like this dude in this video, Musicians Ignite, pointed out, he knows a rock band that was kind of like a Cottonmouth Kings version of rock band. They were all about smoking weed.
Cane Hill.
And so they sold they sold grinders, and you can sell, I mean, Wiz Khalifa had his album called Rolling Papers that came with rolling papers.
Yep.
He sold a CD that came with rolling papers and sold physical copies of the CD because the people wanted the rolling papers to roll up a joint to and listen to that Wiz Khalifa CD because they like Wiz Khalifa and the culture. They were smokers too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you fucking sell a CD in 2024. I know rolling papers, you know, was 10 years ago or whatever, but still, You know what I'm saying? You can still do that today because Cane Hill, yeah, they do that today. There's plenty of people that sell all kinds of stuff. You know, whatever your movement, whatever your brand is about, think about all different kinds of products that you can sell within that, even if it's just a coaster. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know, if you're about drinking or whatever, you can have fucking mugs, glasses and shit, like shot glasses. You know what I'm saying? Etched shot glasses, flasks. Yeah, exactly. Whatever, you know. There's the sky's the limit on your creativity, but you gotta stop stopping yourself at, well, streaming doesn't pay anything. Ignore it. Ignore how much money you get off of streaming.
That's another source
yes,
of income.
you want to use your it's another source of income,
but it's
yes,
also the
but
promotion.
it's not your main source.
It's your promotional. Yeah, it's a promotional tool that has a little supplemental income.
And I keep trying to tell people this too. It's just like radio was and still is. You would pay to get on the radio to get your song to play, so it gets popular and people start listening to your shit, and then they go and take that next step.
And if you want to get paid for the royalties,
you still get
if you want to get paid for
you still get royalties.
Yeah, you got to be registered through BMI, ASCAP, and all those good places.
You got to be registered. Yeah, but that's what I was going to say is yes, you will still get paid royalties from getting those plays on radio, but it doesn't equate what you pay to get on, but it also won't even compare to what you'll get on the people taking the next step. You know, like when people used to hear the song on the radio and then they go and buy the album. Well, now they don't do that. Now they go and stream. And then if you put a call to action at the end of your song, hey, if you like the song, appreciate it, go check it out over at blah, blah, blah.com. You get a free download, right? Just give people a free download. Now you get their email. Now you can start talking to them on a weekly basis. You let them get to know about you a little bit more, and then they'll actually want to go check out your merch shop. If somebody hears your song for the first time and you're like, hey, did you like that? They're like, yeah. They're like, oh, go buy my shirt. They're like, whoa, dude, I just fucking met you. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's like having sex with a chick one time and then just fucking trying to get married the next morning. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. You know, so,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a guy, whatever you're into.
Either
way.
But no, you're
like,
right. It's not, it's not, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. So that's one thing that you need to really focus on is building your brand, focus on your brand, use social media and streaming platforms equally. They're marketing promotional platforms. Use them to get all your shit out.
Yep.
And then after that, have all the stuff set in place to where you can get the mechanical royalties, the streaming royalties, as well as physical sales and stuff like that later on as well too.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Anything else, Mr. P?
Yeah, man. Just just make sure they're saying that there's no business. No, there's no business if you don't create it. There's no business if you don't take care. If you don't take it seriously, and if you don't do the numbers, and if you don't want to, no, it's not going to be a business. And that's just the truth. So really, guys, musicians, bands, artists, take business seriously, not just the music business. Look at business. Look at every form of business out there. McDonald's to the WWE. And no, you don't have to be a corporate. You don't have to be a corporate kiss ass and sell out. You could go DIY. But guess what? If you're smart enough to understand that you could do it you could do DIY it with a team, then guess what? You need to learn what those motherfuckers are doing. And then that way you don't have to do the same practices, but certain things that you can learn from business practices, you can learn, you can do them, you can apply them as a DIY artist, band, a musician, and you can be successful. It depends on what you consider success, what you consider financial security, what you consider a business. But you have to consider learning business.
Absolutely. Or pay somebody like me and KP to help you out with that.
Yep.
One of the two. Music Making Sense podcast for any and everything Music Making Sense pod. As always, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter at the bottom. It's 100% free. We give out informational emails once a week, just talking about different tips and tricks like this. Sometimes it's what we talk about on the podcast. Sometimes it's not. It just kind of varies. Go check it out. It's not a sales email, nothing like that. It's about giving you ideas, tips and tricks, and then telling you to take action, giving you pointers, shit like that,
Exactly.
right? And then, of course, apexmusicsystem.com for any and everything. For me, that you want me to help you out with music marketing, branding, and everything like that, you need a website built, whatever the situation is, anything that we talk about here, and you want actual help done with, apexmusicsystem.com. Go check it out. Put out some little bit different content over there as well too. But make sure you keep checking it out. And as always, if you need anything, if you like this episode, obviously like, share, follow, subscribe, comment down below, yada bing bang. But also go to our website, hit the chat button, send us a message, tell us what you liked, tell us what you hated, tell us if you agree, tell us if you disagree. Let us know, and let us know what kind of topic you want us to talk about on the next episode of Music Making Sense Podcast. We will listen to you, we will take it into consideration, and we will go from there. And we have been getting more comments on our YouTubes, on the shorts, and on the long form.
And big up
So
to the fact.
definitely
Also,
appreciate it.
don't forget, dude, we got to
Okay.
celebrate. We got to celebrate. We just got we got 103 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So thank all you guys out there that's been really supporting us on there. And big up. We've gotten a couple really cool comments. Shout out to Busy B Works, man, who Busy B Work Beats. He gave us commented.
It was a decent
hell of a
compliment too. It wasn't just a fire
Yeah, it
emoji
wasn't
or
like
something
that.
like that, trying to activate
Yeah.
his algorithm. He was actually like quoted
Yeah.
something out of the fucking video. So I know he watched the video. So
Yeah,
that's
that was
dope.
hella
Big up to
dope.
him. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So yeah, keep commenting, all y'all. Keep sharing with people. It's growing. People are catching on to what we're talking about here at Music Making Sense Podcast. And, obviously, as we grow, as we get more business and stuff like that, it's going to be helping ourselves financially with our lives and stuff. But we come here to help every single one of y'all. You ain't got to pay for this fucking podcast at all. You can listen to it for free on any platform. And it'll give you a lot of information, a lot of ideas and stuff, and that you can take and move forward to help growing yourself as an artist. And then if you need any extra help, that's where it comes. You got to pay for my time, pay for KP's time, whatever situation is, and we will help you out. We'll go above and beyond.
Yep.
I mean, I was on a call yesterday for 3 hours with somebody trying to help them set up their Meta Business Suite. And I don't know why it took 3 hours, but it did. We're not going to talk about it. But either way,
yeah.
I was there,
There you go.
right? And I didn't bill them per hour. Let me just say that. So, if you need anything, let us know. If you want us to cover any topics and stuff like that, let us know. And until then, go ahead and bob your head. Bob your head a little bit to the right. Yeah.
We out, y'all.
See ya.
Holla.